Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. This channel is officially 1 year old, so I just want to take a moment to thank all of you who have watched and supported the videos over the past year. I really appreciate it. You know who you are. Thank you. To commemorate 1 year on YouTube, we're back at it where the channel first started with another desk setup video. This time, however, I want to focus more on the other side of my small office. I've had a smaller desk in this office for well over a year now. I've used it for filming videos, doing general work, and most importantly, building Legos. Recently though, I've wanted to have another desk in this office for a variety of reasons. Since my girlfriend and I live in a small place, a big reason for having another desk set up was to give her a place to work on the days she did work from home. Another part of this is YouTube related. When I shoot YouTube videos, this becomes my part-time studio. It gives me more excuses to have a little bit more tech in here to review more products, and it gives me another set piece to have behind me when I shoot content in here. Before we dive in, I want to make a few things very clear. Desk setups can be notoriously expensive, including this one. I invest a good chunk of money into these things for a number of reasons. At the end of the day, this effectively is my space where I work to pay my bills. This is where I get both my day job done as a software engineer and also where I film videos for this channel. And since this channel is largely tech related, I get some return on investment on the money that I invest in these products, since I tend to review a lot of them and I put up that content on this channel. Now, I'm going to have affiliate links for pretty much all of the products that are going to be seen in this video down in the description below. And if you decide to purchase anything through there, thank you very much in advance for your support of this channel. However, please do not purchase anything you see in this video unless you're absolutely sure it will help you work from home. This is not an advertisement video. This is me showing you my setup. Even if you think any of the products that you see in this video will be helpful to you, only ever purchase them when it makes sense and is reasonable for you to do so. I started my work from home setup on the kitchen table with an old 1080p monitor and my laptop, and I've been investing in my desk setups for a number of years now. Some products in this video were also sent to me, and I'm going to be very clear about which products those are. The most important thing that I can say in this video is to always take your time upgrading your desk setup and only ever purchase products when it makes sense for you to do so. More than anything, I hope this video is entertaining for you to watch and perhaps gives you a few ideas on how you can upgrade your own setup. With all that being said, let's dive into the video. My office is quite small, so I need to be creative with what I put in here. I initially added the small desk to have a separate place to shoot unboxings of products and get general work done. At some point though, I got complacent with the smaller desk. It became a catch-all for things I was too lazy to put away, and over time, it almost became a waste of space. So I started to consider adding another desk setup to the room since I already had some spare parts I wanted to give some use. To me, a desk setup begins with two foundational pieces: the desk and the chair. The foundation for this setup is the Ergonoffice Sway Desk in the walnut color. It measures 48 inches wide and 24 inches deep. Walnut is great at giving a moody feel to a space, and I love how much it warms up the room. The Sway Desk features the newer swipe technology from Ergonoffice, which allows you to move the desk up and down with just the swipe of a finger. Personally, I just hate seeing cables. When I initially purchased the smaller Sway desk, I didn't opt for the cable management solution, and I always wished that I did. Thankfully, Ergonoffice was kind enough to send this one over. Even though the desk didn't initially arrive with it, the pilot holes were already in place, so installing it was pretty easy. Their cable management solution is solid. I already use this on my other desk. It makes it easy to tie cables together, and due to the size of the holes, allows for larger Velcro zip ties, which I prefer and will recommend to others instead of the plastic ones, as refactoring your cable management later on is a lot easier. I've said this a few times before. The chair, in my opinion, is the most important part of any desk or home office setup. If you're going to invest substantial money into anything, the chair would be it. One of my local retailers was recently having a sale on Herman Miller chairs, and after some thought and trying it out, I decided to pick up the Aeron Remastered. Now, I plan on doing a proper review on this chair in the future, but the Aeron is a great office chair and arguably Herman Miller's most popular product. The adjustment options are endless, and the armrests are some of the best in the business. So with my work as a software engineer and also my love of gaming, I tend to go for monitors that are good at both productivity and gaming. The centerpiece on the desk is the LG 32 GQ950B, a 4K gaming monitor with a max refresh rate of 160 Hz and a 1 millisecond response time, though ghosting becomes an issue at that speed, so it's more like a 4 millisecond response time. Now, as you'll see, I don't currently have a full-on gaming system on this setup quite yet, though I'm planning on investing on one in the future, and I'll definitely make a video of that. However, this is my spare monitor that I've used in past videos, and I wanted to give it some use. Now, don't get me wrong, this is overkill for a non-gaming setup, but at 138 pixels per inch, it makes writing code just a joy as everything looks crisp and the colors are really vibrant. It's also great for editing, and I really love working on this monitor. I'll link the dedicated review that I did on this monitor down in the description below in case you're interested in learning more about it. Holding up the monitor is the Amazon Basics monitor arm, which is a great arm for its price. It's durable, has a built-in cable management solution, and can hold up heavy monitors. The arm comes in 3 pieces and is really easy to put together. One of the best tech items you can invest in for a desk setup, in my humble opinion, is a light bar, and that's an addition I know I wanted here. Sitting on top of the monitor is the BenQ Screen Bar Halo, which is great at lighting the desk in front of me and helping with eye strain. On the back of the Halo is a light that's intended to provide some ambience behind the monitor to reduce eye strain. It has a dedicated Bluetooth control pad, which lets you adjust brightness, temperature, and favorite settings. It also has an auto dimming feature, which is nice. Now, the Halo is an expensive light bar, and there are definitely cheaper options out there. I purchased one from a company called Quintus in the past, and it worked out really well. Overall though, for those of us who spend long hours staring at the screen, having some kind of light bar is a good idea. Sitting on top of the Halo is the Anker C200 webcam, a 2K webcam with low light support, noise cancelling technology, and a built-in microphone. I had heard good things about the C200, and for its price, it certainly gives a lot of value. It has an on-off toggle on top, which opens and closes the lens for privacy. I spend a lot of time in Zoom calls, so having a separate webcam is important. The C200 works great, and I sometimes use my studio light to help light up the calls. It works well enough for chatting online, and again, for its price, it gives you some great value. Underneath the monitor is the CalDigit TS4, a really important part to this setup. The TS4 has support for both Thunderbolt 4 and USB 4 connections, and is compatible with both Windows and Apple machines. It has 18 ports of connectivity, including an SD card slot, which is helpful for my workflow as I upload and edit a lot of footage. It also has a DisplayPort 1.4 connection, so it also supports high refresh rates even at 4K. I do like the fact that it comes with optional rubber feet attachments, so it does prevent slipping, albeit not entirely. The TS4, in my opinion, is hands down the best dock on the market. Unfortunately, it has gone up in price quite a bit recently, but I haven't quite yet found anything that compares to it so far. The dock, along with the Halo's control dial, are both sitting on top of the desk shelf by GroveMade, a piece that was sent to me by them some time ago. This particular version has a solid walnut top, and the tray underneath is made from aluminum, and as a cool little tidbit, the stands are coated black with sumi ink, which is made from the soot of pine branches from specially selected trees in Japan. I sometimes get a lot of heat in the comments for using GroveMade products, and I understand that as they've become pretty ubiquitous on many desk setups you see on YouTube, but I still think they make great products that last a long time. Whether you purchase a desk shelf or make your own, I think they do make a difference in a desk setup. For me, they keep things looking clean by hiding clutter behind the desk, which includes cables, power adapters, and any other items like ambient lights. Going around to the front of the desk shelf are the Creative Pebble V3 speakers. These are perhaps the best set of speakers you can find for under $50, and I've already done a detailed video on them, which I'll link in the description. First, due to their size, they can fit comfortably on this small desk, and in my opinion, their black and copper profile matches well with the walnut ambience. Second, they have Bluetooth support, which is awesome, and I do make use of that in this setup, which I'll cover later in the video. Now, I've always been interested in finding the best keyboards that I can get my hands on. As someone who writes a lot of code, and someone who also uses NeoVim with Tmux as my code editor, the keyboard is easily the most important input peripheral that I use. For this setup, I picked up the Rogue Azoth, a great wireless keyboard that uses an OLED screen to configure its settings. This particular version uses the Rogue NX Brown switches, which are tactile switches similar to its Cherry MX counterpart. It supports a 2.4 GHz wireless connection, as well as Bluetooth, and has some great feeling keycaps. Having used it for several weeks now, there are definitely good and also bad things that I have to say about it, and I plan on doing a dedicated review of this keyboard in the future, so please stay tuned for that. Because the Azoth is a bit of a taller keyboard, I'm using the wrist rest by HyperX. It's inexpensive, has a cooling foam, and is great for the Azoth as this one is a bit thicker and sits a bit taller. Because of its taller nature, it's not suitable for lower profile keyboards, so please keep that in mind. Sitting beside the keyboard is my favorite workhorse mouse, the Logitech MX Master 3S. If you've watched a desk setup video before, you've probably seen this one, but it's a great mouse that I find helpful for things like video editing. It's extremely comfortable to use, and because it's the silent version, makes very little to no sounds when you click or use its buttons. The keyboard and the mouse are both sitting on top of the special edition Star Wars Obi-Wan desk mat by OrbitKey. Yes, you heard it right, OrbitKey, in collaboration with Star Wars, have created their own special edition Star Wars desk mats. This particular version comes in beautiful brown and cream colors with the Rebel badging on the bottom right, Obi-Wan's blue lightsaber color in the desk tray area for flavor, with the same colored badge also on the bottom right. In signature OrbitKey fashion, it comes with a black cable clip at the top right that magnetically connects to the tray. It's pretty sturdy. All in all, it's an elegant desk mat for a more civilized age. Beside the desk mat is the GroveMade titanium pen and notepad. The pen itself was sent over by GroveMade and is something special. It's precision machined from solid titanium. Titanium falls in the category of light metals, but has an extremely high strength to weight ratio, making it strong as steel. It's also known for its resistance to corrosion. The pen uses Schmidt rollerball inserts and feels great to write with. The notepad has a solid metal base and feels premium. So my main workhorse for this desk setup is the 2023 MacBook Pro with the M2 Max chip and the 32-core GPU. I use this for my day job and by night for video editing and general content creation. I've done a detailed video of this laptop in another video, and I'll link that down in the description below. The laptop is sitting in the walnut dock by GroveMade and is a piece they sent over to me for this video. It's made from American black walnut, stainless steel, and German wood felt. It fits the MacBook perfectly and looks great sitting on the desk. While the GroveMade dock is nice, it only fits MacBooks or other very slim laptops. If you're looking for something to hold a variety of laptop sizes, including thicker laptops, I'd recommend taking a look at the laptop stand by Sodi, which they sent over to me a while ago. It adjusts to the size of your laptop via a simple folding mechanism. The mechanism itself is a pretty simple idea in conception, but it's the only laptop stand that I know of that does this, and I think it's a really great feature. The other computer that I use in this setup is my Raspberry Pi, a recent addition that my friend and coworker, hey Patrick, convinced me to pick up. Specifically, this is the CanaKit Raspberry Pi 4, which is a kit that includes everything you need to get the Pi up and running, including cables, a fan, and heat sinks to keep it cool while under load. Putting together the kit was fairly straightforward, which involved putting the Pi inside the provided case and putting the optional fan and heat sinks on. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the Raspberry Pi is effectively a single board computer running Raspbian, which is a Linux distro specifically designed for the Pi. The Pi can be used for a number of things, such as learning programming and doing hobbyist projects like home automation. It also has some cool open source projects, for example, RetroPie, that can sit on top of Raspbian OS, which can turn your Pi into a retro gaming console. As a side note, people have done some awesome things with RetroPie, including creating their own custom arcade cabinets. Shout out to the Pi community. Both the laptop and the Pi are connected to the Ugreen USB switch, where I connect my keyboard and mouse so that I can easily switch between contexts. One end of the switch is connected to the TS4, and the other end is connected directly to the Pi. I use a similar setup on my main desk to switch between the laptop and my gaming PC, so the Ugreen USB switch has been a favorite of mine for a while now. And to answer a common question that I get, I do a manual input swap on the monitor when I switch between contexts because my monitor does not have a built-in KVM switch. It's fine and doesn't really bother me. The last device I have set up on the desk is the original Nintendo Switch. Because of the Pebble V3's aforementioned Bluetooth technology, I'm able to get sound from the Switch without having to plug the speakers into it directly, so all I need to do is hit the Bluetooth button on the speaker to switch between work and gaming. That, combined with the screen of the LG 32GQ950, makes playing Switch games on this setup a lot of fun. It's great to have this here for when I really want to kick back and relax, though I do take Smash Bros. Ultimate pretty seriously. Underneath the desk is the Ergofoam footrest. It's made of high-density foam and has a velvet covering. This thing encourages good posture, reduced strain on your legs and your lower back. It's adjustable and comfortable, and a good footrest can often go overlooked when creating a desk setup. I love mine, and I highly recommend it. Lastly, we can't forget about the mandatory IKEA plants sitting on the desk, because this wouldn't be a desk setup video without them. How you choose to light your setup can make a big difference to its look and feel, and is a part of desk setups that I feel can sometimes go overlooked. Now, my girlfriend and I have gone way too far down the Philips Hue rabbit hole at this point, so I've gone with Philips Hue for the setup. But keep in mind that lighting doesn't have to be expensive. They're lights. They just have to serve some kind of purpose and make sense. Behind the monitor are a couple of Philips Hue play bars to provide some extra ambient lighting behind the desk shelf to reduce eye strain. I installed the Philips Hue light strip on the back of the desk as I'm a fan of this kind of lighting, and I find that it makes a big difference to the general feel of the desk space and overall just makes things feel a lot cozier. In the corner is the Govee Lyra floor lamp, and this adds a bit of warmth to the setup and really makes it cozy to hang out here. The Lyra allows for a wide range of color options and effects, which can be controlled through its app. Putting it together is simple, and its slim profile allows it to fit pretty much anywhere. To complete the look of a setup, I find it's not just what you put on your desk, but how you set up the space around it. On the wall are framed prints that I got from Etsy from a small company called Wolf & Rocket. I've had the same space prints on the wall for a long time now, but after completing this setup, I wanted to add just one more piece to the left of the desk, as it felt a bit empty in that area, so I moved one of the space pieces down beside the desk and added a frame, also from Wolf & Rocket, that celebrates a great show in Doctor Who. On the right of the setup is a piece from a company called Grid Studio that they sent over to me for this video. This is a beautifully constructed original N64 controller, a piece that reminds me of my childhood playing games like GoldenEye, Super Smash Bros, and Ocarina of Time. Its packaging is superb, and they really make it special to unbox their products. I love what Grid Studio does as they restore old tech and make beautiful art pieces. They offer a variety of pieces from the iPhone to the PSP, so there's usually something for everyone. As usual, I want to conclude with some final thoughts on desk setups. Desk setups are a personal thing. Everyone has their own opinion on what makes a good setup. Everyone has different ideas on what looks good. Some people like bright setups, some people like dark setups, some people are minimalistic, some aren't, and everyone gets their work done in different ways. At the end of the day, yes, having a setup that you feel happy and comfortable in can help you get your work done. But that's really what's at the core of any desk setup: getting work done. Productivity is more about your mindset than the things that you own. Obviously, if you work from home full-time, investing in your office environment can be a good idea, but it can also take a lot of time, effort, and money. I'm very lucky to have the things that I have, but I've worked very hard over the years to be able to have them. I also review a lot of the products that I invest in, so there's some added rhyme and reason for me to invest in them in the first place. As I said in my last desk setup video, as long as you're happy with your setup, you've already won the game. For those of you thinking about upgrading your desk setup, my general philosophy is to wait a bit longer and purchase the thing that you really wanted to buy in the first place. Usually, those things last longer, and in the long run, you'll end up saving money. And that's it. If you're still here, please drop me a fire emoji down in the comments below, just so I can give you a like for sticking around until the end of the video. If you like this video, please remember to hit that like button, and please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you know when I release new videos. If you're interested in following more regular updates from me, you can find me over on Instagram and Twitter/X, and I'll link my socials down in the description below. I've got more tech, desk setup, and gaming content planned as usual, so please stay tuned for that. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.